Very quickly, this is a boiled book that's getting ready to be put into a container. It's not all that tightly wrapped. I might wrap it a little more tightly, but I also put rocks on top. And I have an assortment of leaves, both fresh and dry. I had some pretty good luck with some dry leaves before, so I'm trying that this time. But then they curl up and sometimes they mold. But in here I have some of the leaves that I had. Just picked up around when I go places. Some variety of colors. There's one particular kind, this one here, that we had in Texas that I loved. They turn the most beautiful maroon. This one has gone all the way. It's yellow and purple together, so it's brown. And I don't know what the name of that tree is. There's a little maple. I've got some sycamore here. I have some things I haven't put in yet, some dried stuff. And I tied this one up with raffia. But this is just kind of, I have the wet ones on display, but this is basically what it looks like. Oh, I put in onion skin this time to see about dyeing it, and I marked my in-between pages. Well, I can't do this and use the camera. Anyway, I marked my in-between pages with a thinner layer of leaves and some onion skin. And so they're in sets with a little bit on the backs of each, because I ran into trouble with them before when I liked both sides to do artwork on, and I want to frame it, and I can only frame one side. So and this here is the boiling setup. Some rust down in there. There's a bunch of nice rust here. And that was a iron tabletop underneath the tile here. Some of it was stuck to the tile pieces. Actually, I had a big sheet of it out in the backyard to put iron in the soil. And oh, I'm going to try this time. This is that black salt, and I tasted it. It tastes like eggs. So it's black from sulfur. Something in it is close to sulfur, and it changes the color. So I'm going to try this for my salt in here this time. And yeah, this is some more of it with some of the pink. I love salt, but I didn't like it. I know people who would. I know someone who would. And then these are the rocks that I've used before. You can see the boiled water line on them. I need to rinse this out before I put that stuff in. There's another one. So this line here is not a sediment or striation line of rock. This is a water line of boiling stuff. And then there's, this big guy here. Is there something on him? Yeah, okay. So this is my biggest one. That basically gives it most of the weight. Whew. It has a nice flat bottom. And I can put it down in the middle there. And then surround it with the other rocks and let it boil. And one really neat thing is, when it's boiling, the rocks aren't hot for some reason. The water is, but the rocks aren't. It's fascinating. So that may be the secret to walking on fire. Stems here a little bit. And there's a man that does these, and he puts actually food coloring in with his things. But he said it's good to leave stuff hanging out the edges, because that leaves paths for the color to come in on. Now, this guy, I just washed out. This is the bottom of the pan that I've been using for these boiled books. And I just figured out something. I see that in here, whoops, right here, no, here, yeah, is some leftover book from when I put a book in. It had gotten wet and gotten mold, and I treated it and dried it, this, that, and the other, and I decided to boil it, and I wouldn't have to worry about mold anymore. But anyway, this is the bottom of the pan, and I'm not sure if it's safe to be continuing to use this pan. This bottom piece is, here we go, separated. All right, bottom piece here, there, all the way around, and it's basically attached in the middle. I have just figured out why things are burning right there in the middle, because around the edges there's less heat getting in, because there's a separation of this bottom plate and the pot, but they are put together there. But, you know, if this is not safe to be putting on the stove, would someone please instant message me or email me or anything? But I'm going to put it on again today, but I'm going to wait until it's completely dry, bone dry, because I don't want any water in between here. I think it's safe enough. You know, a bunch of rocks in it. Okay.